Do you want to? I'm so sorry, guys.
I don't see you here.
It says I'm live.
Yeah, well, it said so before, didn't it?
We're live. Go. We're live.
Okay, great.
Come on in. My bad. I screwed it all up. No, I didn't actually. This is how it's going to go, but from now on, I won't screw it up because now I know that there's another step that I have to do, which I didn't have to do before. But this will at least stop people from having to like sit through like or you know scrub their way through 15 minutes of my popcorn video at the top.
I see. Okay, great.
Oh my goodness. So sorry. Well, that was stressful. We lost like hundreds of viewers.
Did you want to do your thing again where you say what number we are?
What's up, everyone? It's Too Real Live, episode 105. I opened up big. I did. I had a bit.
Yeah, you were like a rapper.
I was like, oh yeah, and I was like,
it rhymed and everything.
I was getting all stupid. It was as dorky as it could. Actually,
and it was just for me. I was the only one you were performing to.
Well, anyway, sorry for the bump in the yeah. So I got this. There's a person who watches us after we do our lives. Okay. They watch us later. And they were like, if there was just a way for you to get rid of that big, long popcorn video that you have at the beginning, because I guess they're driving when they listen or something, and then they just like don't have to like fast forward through it. Oh. So I immediately felt bad about it. And
it was clever though. The popcorn waiting music.
Admittedly, it was like a whatever. So well, it is what it is. So I don't know, and maybe there's a way to even like upload that anyway. I might figure that out at some point, but nonetheless. I figured out how to like schedule. So I scheduled the live and then people can like, it's kind of like having a waiting room. Mm-hmm. I don't even know what it looks like. I don't know what it looks like on your end. But anyway, hello.
I think it's just your thumbnail and then it says waiting and then the scheduled time.
Yeah, maybe there's a way to like, do something more entertaining.
Tomorrow when you do it that way, I'll screenshot it so I can show you.
I definitely want to talk a lot about Taylor Swift because like I'm confused by the whole thing and I just want to talk about it because I'm confused by, and we'll talk about it in a minute.
Confused by what whole thing?
I'm just confused by like the amount of hatred I see for this
that's just
woman.
Because you're new here. I think that people who have been long-term Taylor Swift fans are used to this. An album comes out and everybody talks about it and then criticizes it and hates her for this, hates her for that. I think it's just normal.
Yeah.
I
guess. I don't know. I mean, it's nasty. Like some of the shit that people are saying and acting like.
Oh, like people are like doing full dissertations. Yeah.
And they're just like, they're so cruel about it. It's like, I get like, and here's the thing that's always, I found probably the most amazing thing about people that reach her level or even many levels below hers. And the things that they have to end up like kind of living with and by living with, I mean, like if you're just, think about how bad it is for that one band. What's that band? Smash Mouth. They have one song, right? They do. They have one song, right? I know they have a whole fucking whatever, but they have one song. That's what they are. And the song came out and they probably didn't think that they probably were hoping, oh, we'll have a hit or whatever. It'll be great and we'll make some money, but not that would be it. That would be the pinnacle of them as artists or whatever you would want to call them. This woman, man, she creates fucking like one great record after another. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. Her output is really just super crazy. And every now and again, she'll slip on a song or two. And, she may have on this record as well. Whatever, your opinion is your own. But it wouldn't be the first time. Like I've listened to all of her records now, and I've heard many songs where I was like, really, Taylor? Like I don't need to talk about those songs because the fucking lyrics aren't great and the hook isn't great and I'm not there for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So she's 35. She has 12 albums. That's crazy.
12 albums at 35 years old.
They're also really like, there's a lot of songs. It's not like she's just putting out like 5-song albums,
It's like double the output or, maybe just a little less than double the output of most prolific bands.
Yes. And most of them also include covers.
Right.
She's never doing any covers. Like never did House of the Rising Sun once.
Yeah. Wait for it. And maybe it'll be 2, 3 or whatever, but you know what I mean? Anyway, I just don't get the fucking hate. I just don't understand it. It just blows my mind. I don't know why people have to make if she did write about Kelsey's junk, and it does appear as though she has. And even if she
I'm surprised she didn't use that lyric too, like that. She called it junk. Like,
do you know what I've been singing?
Every other very, very like elementary fucking name.
Do you know what I can't get out of my head ever since I heard people complaining about the fact that she wrote Wood?
What?
She's my cherry pie. Like, I can't get it out of my head.
Yeah.
Because it was this big hit. Everyone knew what the cherry pie was. No one gave a shit because it was a bunch of dudes singing about banging a chick.
Yeah, and it's such a fucking catchy song too.
It's a very catchy song.
So Taylor Swift's song "Wood" is like in a long line of like really pervy, explicit rock songs from the beginning of time.
Well, I'm just saying that there might be like...
You're right. Cherry Pie is a really, really good example because it's so catchy, and it's everybody agrees it's bad.
It's fucking bad.
And it was massive.
And it was massive, and nobody said a goddamn thing about it.
It's true.
And it's not the only one. Sugar Magnolia. I mean, you can go down the list of male-driven, exactly the same in terms of like the idea, the approach, whether or not one is better than the other is just, argue amongst yourselves. But, so that's what I'm saying. I'm just like, I'm looking around going, what the fuck is everyone talking about? Like, so what? Fucking artists have been writing about the junk of their lovers forever, dude. That's not new. She is not doing something because maybe she's doing it, it's like, see, she's not like living in the fucking norm of
I feel like
else.
you're mistaking the criticism about the song "Wood." I feel like
everyone's just because it's bad. So
no. I think everybody's criticism is that they're expecting her to do better lyrics. I mean, come on,
that's what I was talking about earlier.
Like using calling it a magic wand or something, like that's so fucking thin. It's so narrow. That's
you're not going to get me to argue. She's
shallow. Like that's.
But that's what I said earlier
small.
about. It's not the first time she's written bad or questionable lyrics. It just happened. So I just don't understand why this one's like any more of a bigger deal than any of her other sort of, missteps as a lyricist. I've not heard not a single, my favorite of all time, Leonard Cohen, in terms of lyricists.
Yeah.
He has many songs that I'm just like, come on, man, what are you doing? What is that?
I know. There's a lot of artists that I really, really like. And it's true. They'll put out a song where I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to enjoy this and pretend like I'm from a different country and I don't understand English.
It's
I'm
so
just going to enjoy
easy.
this song without knowing the lyrics.
It's just easy to fucking trip and fall. I mean, when you're prolific especially and miss a few here and there. I actually think it's a great record. I only listened to it once so far. So I haven't like gone through it. But I enjoyed my first run through it. I thought there was some fucking
nor are
great
you
shit in there.
supposed to either. Like, this isn't something that you're supposed to, like, there's no tests that you have to study for. You don't have to listen to the record like 700 times and like figure out exactly how you feel about it. I personally don't have an issue with everybody taking it apart because I believe that art is made for criticism. I'm one of those people that I feel like art criticism is an art form in itself, and I respect it. So anytime anybody wants to just like completely dissect a piece of art that's been put out to the public, that's what it's for. It's been provided to everybody for scrutiny. If that's how people want to engage in the art, then that's something that they're supposed to, then they're allowed to do. And I don't criticize people for criticism, because I think it's a really, it's like a really loving way to engage in art is to criticize it. And like, I think film criticism and music criticism and all of that is just it's like, I don't know. I feel like that's why people make, maybe especially her too, people make records and stuff so that people listen to it and really get into it. Like if you're lucky enough to have fans that want to do that spend time with your art, that's really fortunate. That's great. That's success,
I have no problem with criticism. I think criticism is great. I think it's unavoidable. And I think you can embrace it, good and bad, and be real productive about it in your work. But I'm not talking about criticism. I'm talking about hate. Like what I'm seeing out there,
how can
in
you
so
tell
many
the
different
difference?
ways, is just like fucking straight hate.
Yeah, but how
like
can you
it's
tell
weird.
the difference?
How can you tell the difference? Okay, yeah.
Because they're only reading her lyrics, which is criticism of her art.
No. It's what they're saying. Like there was like I watched this one that just went on and on about this white girl thing and this like it was just all this nasty
total
things.
dissertation.
And then this like and then they build up this like complete fucking weird fallacy that she's writing about when she was talking about that whatever I'm not your savage or whatever and we're gonna reproduce. And I think it's in Wood. We're gonna reproduce and make babies that look like just like us all over our block. And they took that as her trying to invade the world with the white race. Like it's just like literally, and these are like people, like white people, and they're like calling her like out for being a racist and talking about like and believing that her lyrical structure was like this culturally inappropriate. You know,
okay, but here's the thing.
Crazy,
this is what I'm saying.
Crazy shit.
Here's what I'm saying.
That's not criticism.
It is though.
No, that's not criticism.
If they don't get it the way that you get it, that's still a valid form of engaging in the art form.
I don't agree with that. I'm never going to agree with that. There's criticism.
We were talking about.
I'll say criticism.
We were talking about the Jackson Pollock painting.
To me, criticism would be like, "Hey, Wood was in poor taste." You know, I don't need to hear about Travis Kelce's junk, and I'm sure neither does his mother.
Okay, I know you're saying that you think that valid criticism would be whatever song is in poor taste, but if they elaborate on that and explain
no,
why
I'm
they
not saying
think
about
so,
elaboration
then it's
either,
bad?
Angela. No, I mean it's just so simple-minded in terms of like how you're trying to portray my idea of it. I'm talking about this woman having like, and I don't mean that. Hope you don't mean that. I'm not trying to like
whatever.
I'm not trying to.
I know how you feel about me.
Duke it out. Yeah,
I'm good.
Good. No, of course not. I'm talking about when there are lines you can cross. There are boundaries. There's got to be boundaries. You can't just fucking say like stupid, crazy shit that has absolutely no basis in reality because you don't like the way the lyrics went, or because you think the lyrics were too this or too that, or lazy or whatever it is the fuck you want to talk about.
I think people like to put art in the context in which it's made.
No.
So you can talk about the society in which it's made, the country in which it's made. I feel like that's valid.
She's not. You think that
I don't agree with
Taylor
it.
Swift, you think it's valid for somebody to say that Taylor Swift is writing a white supremacist song, or that her lyrics are to invigorate the white nationalists of America? Do you really believe that?
I don't believe that person shares my opinion about it. This is what I don't believe.
So, but where you and I disagree
it seems like
I think that's overreaching on criticism, and that's hatred. That's the kind of shit that creates divide. It's the kind of shit that doesn't have any, because it's not based in anything realistic. There's nothing realistic about what they're saying.
Okay, but a lot of criticism is also not based in anything that's realistic. I feel like here's the thing. You put out a piece of art.
I guess we're just never going to agree on this.
I don't think we are. Because I do believe that anytime that you engage in a piece of art, and if it evokes a certain context, right? I mean, if it evokes a certain, like if it creates a conversation that maybe the artist didn't intend, that's still why criticism is like an interpretive art form. It's like I don't see it very far from any kind of interpretive art form. Like you and I, we practice astrology. Somebody could say that a certain transit is one thing and have it all wrong, but I'm not attacking that person because I understand that they're practicing their art maybe badly, but I still think that it's great that they're doing that.
I think it's an attack on somebody to try and insinuate something out of your lyrics, to try and build a complete reality out of something that they have no concept for at all and no context for at all, except for whatever thin lyrics. Like a lot of people.
But people can be mistaken without being
malicious.
Yes.
I think that what I saw. I'm talking about what I saw. Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about the general population. I'm talking about what I saw was malicious. What I saw was born from shit like hatred. Shout out to Tanner, by the way. He's only here for 15 minutes, so I just want to give him some love because we missed the fucking shit out of you at this live. And so we're so glad that you're here. I know you're not rooting for the Phillies, but hey, at least they lost for you, right? Okay.
Did your team lose?
They lost the game one. They're playing right now. I'm not feeling great. All right. So... So to me, and look, again, I mean, obviously we're not going to, I don't want to argue. I don't want to like turn this whole live into this because I don't know if it's all that entertaining, but, or engaging, but I think that there are always boundaries in whatever you do, including criticism. If there weren't boundaries on criticism, then I really think that you can create, the propaganda I hate, the division of people that I hate. You don't have to be divisive just because you don't like her lyrics. You don't have to pretend that she's something she's not and that you cannot prove, and to insinuate it is just outrageous. You cannot, like, it's just, these are to me, absolutely fucking boundaries crossed, and where you're no longer a critic of somebody's work, but where you're somebody trying to use an opportunity that you think is a weakness, hide behind, just like the way these fuckers hide behind being journalists, hide behind criticism to propagate some kind of fucking idea and ideology on somebody that doesn't deserve it, that isn't fucking doing that. And so I think it's a great way for people to insert their own fucking agendas into something that should be more about, hey, I don't like this. I do like this. If you want to question, if you want to, hey, is she this? Is this? What does that actually mean? But to build an actual scenario around her, trying to cryptically tell the world that white people need to reproduce and take over their blocks is fucking insanity. And you're using this opportunity to further your own fucking thoughts.
Okay, well,
and
I'm going to
ideas.
just plant my feet firmly down in the little square of this this game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is, I defend people who have bad criticisms and wrong criticisms.
Well, I'm not.
Because
I'm
I feel
not saying, I'm defending them from what? What are you defending them from?
You're saying that they shouldn't.
No, I'm saying they're not critics, and
something.
what they're doing is awful.
I'm saying that if I read anything, okay, lyrics, poetry, a fucking book, a fucking newspaper article, and it evokes in me a feeling of, oh, I think they might be. I can read between the lines, and this is the interpretation I get. I feel like that's valid. So this is just where I stand on the whole thing. And I think that it might be that you're new here. I believe that Taylor Swift fans deal with this every time an album
I'm not
comes
talking
out.
about Taylor Swift. This is just happening to Taylor Swift. I'm talking about a much bigger thing when I talk about where I think there's a difference between being a critic and trying to provoke and divide and create hatred for something or someone. And one of them is a tool used, I think, by PR. It's a tool used by people with malicious intent to destroy or damage reputation or product, or art. And so when malicious intent collides with criticism, I have a fucking problem, because it's the same way as, wearing a disguise and going in and with a nefarious idea to pull something off. And that's what I see in what people are in some of these criticisms, so-called criticisms that I saw earlier today. And I find them, profoundly, I find them,
Disagreeable.
no, it's not disagreeable. I don't care about whether, man, dude, I get criticized. I have my work criticized. I know how to handle criticism. Criticism is easy for me because I understand the concept of, I told the story here and I'll tell it again just for the purposes of keeping myself, grounded here. I did that Christian movie and the director calls me up after and he says, "What do you think of the movie, dude? I just want to know what you really think." And I said, "I think we made a good movie." And then he sighed sadly and said, I really wanted it to be a great movie. And I said to him, "You don't get to decide that." So I understand the concepts of critics, man. I understand them at a profound level. I've been criticized, and even unfairly so, for a very long time. And I'm not even talking about this being unfair, at least with my criticisms, or where I believe I've been unfairly criticized, is where I've had my work disparaged before people even get to see it, and so they already have an opinion going forward.
Yeah, that's definitely invalid.
And critics, by the way,
that's invalid criticism.
Well, critics do this, right? We already know that. A critic will say, "Hey, don't read this fucking, don't buy something, don't buy this, don't watch that, because it's not fucking good and I don't recommend it." So it's 2 thumbs down. So critics, functionally deter or entice people away from or towards something.
Yeah, we're about to do that ourselves.
So I'm not fucking concerned about any of that stuff, right? But when you start building around your criticisms, concepts that actually maliciously, and I don't believe incredibly, defame or, just, defame. I mean, it's just, to me, it's defamatory. And I'm sad that it happens.
I like that you use the word nefarious. I'm always like tickled whenever that word comes up.
Why?
It's just one of those like top tier English words.
Yeah, nefarious is a good one.
I love it.
I know. I was thinking of one of my favorites today is ire. I just love it.
Ire is a good one.
I just feel like people don't use it enough.
No. Another one similar to that is eerie. I think it's one of the best descriptor. Good. It's like a description that sounds like it.
Well used this time of year. You want to do some comments real quick?
Yes. Guilty Angel said, I regret having gone to see one battle after another. My sister wanted to go, so I obliged. I wish it was better.
That's so interesting because it is still to this moment getting fucking rave reviews. Like people absolutely love it. And I totally respect your opinion.
Lee said, I hope he doesn't win the Oscar. He's arrogant enough. Damn.
Yeah.
Guilty Angel said Leo needs to retire.
Leo will never, he's never going to retire. Why would he? He's not going to retire as long as people.
Lee said, Leo doesn't seem happy to me, so he needs another Oscar for validation. I'm actually super surprised that he cares about that.
Oscar?
Yes.
He probably doesn't now.
No. I mean, that he was like,
I think he cared about
twisting himself into a pretzel over his last Oscar run, doing all of these really uncomfortable things. I was like, why does he fucking give a shit?
I think it's this thing that he can't just buy. It's this thing he can't just get. It's this thing he has to work toward. It's something out of his control. And it's something that has meant something to him since he was a kid. And so he had all this stuff built into it. I had it. Everybody who's ever wanted something like an accolade, or to move up to the highest level in their industry, would want, it's employee of the fucking month. And, or in this case, employee of the year. And so I think what happened is that he got it and he was like, wow, fuck. Like this happened to a Philadelphia.
He set it on his shelf and he was like, like, that's it.
So AJ Brown of the Philadelphia Eagles, he won the Super Bowl last year. Of course, everyone knows this. Well, after he won the Super Bowl, he said later, he was like, you know what? I prefer having really good games as a wide receiver. He would prefer having great games than being on a team that wins the Super Bowl, because he was like, I won the Super Bowl and it wasn't all that. It was like, oh, okay. So it's just another game. It's just another day. So it's just a funny thing how, and this is what we could be looking at with Leonardo DiCaprio, is a guy who had all this stuff built into this Oscar. And then when it happened, instead of it being this glorious thing, this thing that made him feel like he was Marlon Brando, that made him feel like he was immortal in ways that he'd only ever dreamed of, and it didn't happen inside. So maybe now he doesn't give a shit about it. Now he's like, he cares about the money. He's building hotels on beaches.
Well, yeah, and I definitely think he doesn't want to do the whole press run that he has to in order to fucking win one of those. Imagine going on Good Morning America. Like, nobody wants to do that shit. I was talking about this before.
I'll go on it tomorrow. Call me.
I was talking about this before about how like I have my Mars placement is in detriment, and so that means that I lack ambition. And I don't have any competitive drive. And I don't care about competing.
It's desire, I don't care about winning. Nothing for you.
Yes.
It's just desire.
It's just desire or nothing. Yeah. And I've just come to the realization that I feel like for a lot of people, ambition is a curse. I feel like it makes people dissatisfied with where they currently are, and they seek these things. And then when they achieve them, they're also dissatisfied. I just feel like for some people, ambition is like this horrible, heavy baggage that they can't ever put down. And it makes them absolutely miserable. There's so many people that are like assessing their life and feeling nothing but regret because they didn't achieve the things they had ambitions to achieve. Yeah. And I'm like, why? It's just so sad. That's never going to happen to me. I just feel so bad for these people. Well, so it's just interesting that it's interesting that somebody could like want so badly to win an Oscar, and then they win the Oscar, and then it feels empty. Or they want so badly to like win the Super Bowl, and then they win the Super Bowl and it feels empty. Like, what a curse. Can you imagine?
Well, and it also is, especially if you have all this like stuff that's supposedly in front of you, because, winning the Oscar was this thing that was always there that he had to go chase.
Right.
He chased it every time. And, and he knows he's not going to ever be the most decorated actor of all time. That's not going to happen. That's a wrap.
Yeah.
That's, he'd have to go on a run that would just be mind blowing and clean his act up, because reputationally, since we're on it, on the thumbnail today, I talk about, did Leonardo DiCaprio lose grace, fall from grace in the United States of Canada, in the United States? And the reason I say that is because he had a 53% drop week over week. 53% drop, went from $22 million to under $10 million. There's a Taylor Swift factor, because she took $33 million from the box office in an absolutely completely possibly game-changing theatrical release of her album. It was just fucking brilliant. I mean, this woman, bro, she created $33 million of buzz and income off of this record, and sold more records than anybody all year long in any genre combined. Unbelievable achievements. This woman is just like crushing it. And that's probably the hatred, because she literally just like flicks a switch and crushes it. Maybe.
Yeah, it's everything she ever wants to do. She can just like put it out, and it's massively successful.
So crazy. So there's a twist here. So Leonardo DiCaprio falls 53%. Well, I think he suffered in America bad, because in Europe and internationally, he only dropped 17%. And a drop of 17%, so give some people some perspective here. A 53% drop in your box office, not good. Very, very bad. Taylor Swift factor, so keep that in mind for this coming week and try to look at comparative numbers. But not good in terms of his domestic. But a 17% drop is really good. To lose 17% of your audience week over week in abroad means they love it. It means they're talking about it, and it means they're going to come see it. So they're going to go see it, which means this movie is probably going to do just fine overseas. And it might be enough to swell up over and spill this thing into domestic, where people instead are going to go see a Paul Thomas Anderson movie. Like, what's interesting is that they should probably try to pivot a little bit on this thing and start selling Sean Penn and start selling PTA more than they're selling Leo, because Leo is that week over week is bad news, especially when you look at these overseas markets. A 17% drop where they're not paying attention to the stories on Leonardo DiCaprio. They're not. In Europe, they're not sitting there wondering what the fuck he's doing every day.
Yeah, I think people are right that film fans are kind of moving away from the celebrity star draw.
Yeah.
Too. Oh, it was so sad. So we watched the latest Saturday Night Live. It was awful.
Oh my God. Well, we'll get to that in a second.
The writing was so bad, but Benicio del Toro came out and to like the weakest
to
applause.
No cheers. I mean, it was just
like,
it was like the fam was there.
Nobody knew who he was. It was kind of sad, because I'm a fan of his. I've always appreciated his work, and it was just kind of sucked.
Yeah, it was a little like, kind of like, whoop, like it kind of plucked my breath out from me for a split second.
They all planned to pause the sketch for the applause, and it was like real tepid.
Lee is here, and Bobo is here, and Guilty Angel is here. Lee says Leo's 51, and that's ancient in Hollywood. Not for men, it is. No way, not at all. No. Not even remotely close. Actually, he's got. Are you kidding me? Harrison Ford was leading all the way until he was in his 70s. And now Harrison Ford is still potentially a lead in a movie, if it's artful and whatnot.
Guilty Angel said, these celebs are heavily in debt, financially speaking. Leo is always for sale, and then came back saying, opening bid $6.
That's really funny.
I think it might be that the drop off is that like the diehard fans showed up on the first week, right?
Yeah.
And then everybody after that is like, I don't know if I want to spend 3 hours at the movie theater. Let's watch something else, because they're not diehard fans. They'll catch it later. That's what I think happened. I just think it's a really tough sell, a 3 hour movie in the theater.
It is, and their numbers aren't unimpressive in that respect because not only is it a 3-hour movie, but it's a 3-hour comedy that nobody really knows what to make of it going in, right. And it's a 3-hour movie that has no IP underneath it that is recognizable. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like people are like, there's some people out there who are talking about the, what's his name? The author?
Oh, Thomas Pynchon.
Pynchon?
I don't know how to say it.
Neither do I. That's why I was asking for you. I was looking for guidance. Anyway, that guy and his excellent prose aside, there's some people who are following that, and it's a very small number. Certainly not a number that would drive, the kind of box office they want.
Yeah, I think that they marketed it, letting everybody know that it is a very loose adaptation. It's basically like they took a concept from the book, but it's not like an adaptation of the novel. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's based on, kind of loosely based on something like that. Dude, somebody's saying, who is it? It was Lee saying Colin Jost is not funny, and he's not. No, the guy's not funny.
No.
He's not funny.
I know.
He didn't get fired. He's not funny.
I think that it's a lot of really great comedy writers and then a lot of really poor delivery. There's still some people that sing, but I don't know what happened. I mean, I guess they're writing about it.
It was kind of, his Hegseth bit was kind of cringe.
No. I'm saying what happened with the cast shakeup.
Oh, yeah. I know. You shake the cast up, you bust the whole thing up, and then you put out like a flat, uninspired season opener.
Yeah, the whole episode was just really amateur. It's just really strange.
Bad Bunny, like I love him. I want him to succeed. I'm obviously rooting for him all the way. He was just not very good.
Oh, fucking Doja Cat though. She slayed it.
Yeah, she did great.
She's amazing.
Yeah, she's
no
so
matter
fun.
what she does.
No, that was a really great performance. I think she was kind of putting on you gotta be looking at me for the Super Bowl with that rose and the.
Oh yeah, no, she always does that stuff though. She's all really into like
super big,
really, really
set pieces,
really unique visuals. Yeah. I really love how she sort of like really leans into this like dark feminine style.
Yeah.
I use her as an example when I'm explaining to people what Venus and Scorpio is because she embodies that perfectly. It's like definitely like the goth girl kind of aesthetic. She's amazing. That everything she does is like inspired by horror and it has a bunch of comedy in it. It's just perfect for that.
Yeah.
She's great. Cosmic
says, neither was the guy before Colin Jost, Seth Meyers, and they gave him his own terrible talk show. Oh, that guy just doesn't do it for me at all.
Seth Meyers?
No.
He's apparently really, really fucking nice.
Ah, that's great.
Like he's apparently really, really.
I'm not saying he's not bad.
He's a great comedy writer and he's really nice to people.
Yeah.
Like they love having him around.
Yeah.
Which I think gets you a lot of mileage.
It does, and it matters.
So all the rest of us out here
I root for nice guys. I want the nice guys to win. Wish he was a little more interesting, frankly. Yeah. I like him. I just wish he was a little more interesting. Good writer, apparently. I just wish he was a little more interesting. He also has this like his smile. It's a little creepy to me.
Really?
There's something creepy about that smile.
That's just you.
Is it?
Well, yeah, because if everybody says he's a super nice guy.
Well, that's his personality. I could probably feel that way if I got to know him. And his smile was like all wrapped up in everything I knew about him. I don't know anything about him.
Well, maybe if they come out with allegations against him, you'll be like, aha, I knew it.
No. I don't think there's anything shady with him, But he's just it's not my favorite smile is all.
Phil Blumling wants to know.
I would like to see him in clown makeup and then that smile.
I'm sorry.
What does Phil Blumling want to know?
Clown makeup with that smile. That's horrible.
Well,
that's
why?
So creepy.
Shouldn't be.
Should we do clown makeup for
Mine
Halloween?
Would just be a sad clown. You just gotta be the clown with the tears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, it'd be so creepy. Let's do it.
Okay.
Give everybody the creeps. Phil Baumling is asking, Dale, did you hear the news? Geddy Lee and Alex
I did. I heard the news. I'm crazy about it.
Are planning a small tour next year with a new drummer that they were introduced to.
Yeah, well, and I did you go check her out? She's fucking awesome.
Well, she'd have to be. Oh my God.
She started on YouTube.
So you're talking about Rush, right?
I'm talking about
the
Rush.
Band?
Yeah, Rush. We'll just jump into it because I got to give it its tribute. Because listen, I'll tell you, if you're anywhere to see this band, you should just go see this band for the experience of, Alex Lifeson and Geddy Lee are high school buddies. These guys are so musically entwined. It's eternal. This new drummer is really super exciting. She's a relatively speaking young woman, and she's so crazy talented that she's going to play drums for what everyone universally agrees is the most difficult band to play drums for in the world. Pretty much everyone universally agrees. Yeah. Neil Peart is the greatest drummer that ever held sticks, and
crazy.
And she plucked out of like a Justin Bieber, but I mean, she was bigger than that, and like she had a good following on YouTube.
How do you think she woke up in the morning the day after she learned the news? Went to
I
bed
think
that night?
I think she got on the kit and started working on Tom Sawyer again because it's the hardest fucking song in the world to play. I think she got on the set and said, "Okay, man, I got to get Tom. Now I got to do it with feeling because it's just technically impossible, and she's gonna have to play it for 50 shows or whatever the number is." So it's super fucking exciting. You know, there's a picture of Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson, and it just fucking warms my blood, my heart, my life. These guys have known each other forever, and the smile on their faces that this photographer captured is just perfect. I can't explain it except to say that it's only a smile that can be held between two people who are deeply, deeply ingrained historically. Like it's not just the kind of thing like I appreciate you, appreciate me. It's the kind of smile that only comes from decades of smiling at that person, and that person smiling back. Beautiful moment in life and music, and I'm so jelly of everybody who gets to go and see this band, especially gets to see this woman drum, because I'm really excited about her and what she's going to bring to the songs and to Neil Peart's most excellent writing. Congratulations to Rush. I'm so excited for them. Where was I otherwise?
When is the tour?
I don't have all the dates and all the stuff. We'll keep you posted if you're interested. Yeah.
Is it soon? This year?
They only announced it for, I think it's it might be now. It might be like coming up here.
Oh, it wouldn't be this year. I'm sorry. It's almost over. I'm still in summer.
Yeah, I don't know if they're launching it this year or not. It could, but it's probably going to be in 2026.
Yeah, it's got to be.
And yeah, man, I'm just very excited for them. I think it's so fucking exciting for everybody who gets to go and see them. And I'm not a big giant like I would go see that. I'm not like, I love this band, and I've loved them since I was a young man, like a boy. And so, and Neil Peart is one of my idols, like one of my straight up idols in life, in every respect. I think he's one of the greatest humans. I just do. And I was devastated about his death and all of it. And I would still happily go see, Alex Lifeson and Geddy Lee jamming with this super badass chick, awesome. Man. Can't fucking believe it. So excited for everybody. My God, it's great. By the way, I forgot to mention, speaking of reprisals, that Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair is coming out.
Yeah.
So this is Kill Bill.
We mentioned it last time.
We did?
Yes.
We talked about it?
Yep.
Oh, fuck. I thought we missed it. I was like, oh, shit, I forgot. Okay, great.
No, I'm super excited about it.
Hinata, hello.
We were talking about what was omitted and what was added last time.
Oh, we did cover that. And we covered the whole Harvey Weinstein. He split the script up to begin with.
Yes.
So what he would have done is probably mend it together.
I'll show you the video. You'll like it.
Hey, man, listen. We do this every day.
Maggot Head 1980 said, "Let's get Dale on Good Morning America."
Yeah, let's go, man. I'm ready. I'll put my best suit on.
And that clown makeup we were talking about.
Yeah, we got to hand out some tiny pineapples. You want to do that right now?
Yes.
Let's get it over with, because we watched 2 slow burns this weekend. Real slow burns. I'm talking like, my goodness. It was like watching incense.
Do you want to move this a little? It's just, yeah, there you go.
It was like watching incense.
It was like watching incense burn. Yeah.
But so we'll start with Patterson.
These were recommended by the chat.
This came from the chat.
Right? Do you remember who?
Patterson came from Cosmic Urgency.
Okay.
I liked it a lot.
Typical.
Here's the thing: you're not gonna watch a Jim Jarmusch movie
and be on the edge of your seat.
For the incredible pace. You're going to watch a Jim Jarmusch movie in the same way that you might slowly swirl the chocolate.
You watch Jim Jarmusch for the card chase scenes.
Yeah, right. And the gun action.
And yeah, and the gunfights.
So if you're gonna,
and the hand-to-hand combat.
So if you love and appreciate Jim Jarmusch, it's because you love the way in which he shows us these little moments in life between these characters, and
he's really skilled too at just showing awkwardness and oddities between people, but it becomes a bond. Like he'll have two characters who are just like who can't really communicate properly, but they're totally like in synergy. And I just think that that's really skilled. Like he's a really, really wonderful observer of human social interaction.
It's kind of like his own trope.
He manages to put it on the screen perfectly.
I fucking love it. It's so perfectly said.
I did not like this movie.
Well,
Patterson
let me finish
is a miss for me.
Let me finish before you tear it down.
Okay.
Because I wasn't finished.
I'm sorry.
And yeah, you must be eager, I guess, to bite the head off of this one. But for me, it's exactly what I would have expected it to be, really, which was this really quirky dive into these relationships. And the thing I like about Jim Jarmusch is he came up at the same time around, I think, Hal Hartley did. And there was this like time where there was like these directors and these writers who kind of wrote a flavor that kind of you see in every character. So where most artists, me certainly writers, where I try to like make every character their own distinct voice, a lot of these writers, particularly Hal Hartley, but to a certain extent also Jim Jarmusch, they kind of infused the same tone, offering these different variations through these characters, and then of course the delivery through the actors, which really creates a certain, sort of, I don't know, weird hybrid of the one character that he writes or the one way in which he writes.
Yeah.
And then the way that comes through. And I love the way they do it because it's a skill. It's not a flaw. It's a skill. And he's fucking great at it. And so for me, I would highly recommend watching Patterson if you're into watching movies that are just about exploring characters, exploring, just exploring characters and quirk. He's like the king of quirk. I'll also say that if you're a filmmaker or if you want to be a filmmaker, then you should definitely watch movies like Patterson. And the reason is because Patterson offers the filmmakers out there the opportunity to understand that they can work really well with natural light or with relatively minimal lighting setups. Like, I don't know what his budget was or what his lights were, but I can see what's on the set there. And that guy wasn't working with like some major, like 3-truck, movie here. Like, I'm not talking a videography kit either, but it was, really working with and shaping a lot of the light that he had. And just really, I think, a testament to the DP. A great looking movie.
I know, it was really beautiful. I loved the natural lighting. The lighting sometimes was so gorgeous too. Like there was an actress in Patterson who was just beautiful, and he lit the fuck out of her bone structure, and she just looked like a painting the whole time.
So I give it. I'm going to give Patterson 3.5. Very enthusiastic, tiny pineapps. Because the reason I say very enthusiastic is because it's not quite a 4 for me, because I do feel like, I know he's the king of slow, but this one was definitely like a snail's race, and his came in last. So it's really slow. Like, it's definitely like you can forget you're watching it at times. Like you say, oh fuck, that's right, I got away with my thoughts there. My bad. I'm gonna watch this. But I thought the performances were solid. I thought what he was after was that he got what he was after, and I couldn't recommend it more. With, of course, the caveat of being that this is not an everyday film. This is the kind of film that you got to really be an enthusiast for to really appreciate, I think.
I think that it's wonderful how Jim Jarmusch will work with the same actors over and over again. So he worked with Adam Driver on Patterson in 2016. Yeah, that was the same era of Adam Driver where he was working on Girls. So he was also doing the Star Wars movie.
Yeah, he's like wicked really popular era.
Yeah, he really catapulted.
He was working with everybody. He was working with Scorsese.
Yeah, that's true. He did Silence too. Yeah, so it was just like a massive year for him.
Which I read that book and thought,
In 2019, they made another movie together called The Dead Don't Die. This is Jim Jarmusch with Bill Murray, Adam Driver, Tom Waits, Chloe Sevigny. I haven't heard of this. I want to see it.
For sure.
And then there's another one has just been announced, or maybe it's at the festivals now. It's titled Father, Mother, Sister, Brother. And that also has Tom Waits, Adam Driver, and others that he's worked with before.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to all of these. I will, let's see. Oh, this one is Tom Waits, Adam Driver, Mayim Bialik, Charlotte Rampling, Kate Blanchett, a bunch of other names I'm not familiar with.
Honestly, this is the career I imagined for myself. Not to be Jim Jarmusch or to have, to be as beloved as him, but I really felt like that's the path I was on, where I was going to be this guy that people went to, like major awesome actors, to collaborate on really small, personal, intimate, beautiful projects.
I'll definitely watch everything that he does, but Patterson was a miss for me. I give it 2 tiny pineapples.
So me 3.5.
2 apprehensive tiny pineapples. You said yours were enthusiastic. Mine were not.
So you're saying it could have been less than 2.
It could have been less than 2.
Wow.
And, it's just because of there was no.
It's harsh.
I know. I have high standards for filmmakers that I like. And I like Jim Jarmusch so much.
This is like, it goes back to that thing I was talking about. It's like, as an artist, you hit like something, like you hit huge, and then people have to, and like, it's like you have to be better than that every time, or it's just like they can't, like, I'm not saying you in particular.
I think this movie would have been a miss from any filmmaker.
But when you pull up like a high standard, I'm not talking about you in particular, because I'm saying that I think this is something that artists have to live with. That's got to be so difficult. Is that it's just like, you hit your peak, or what I guess people will perceive as your peak, where these other like pieces have like great fucking value. I'm not saying that you're incorrect in your feelings of Patterson.
I don't have to keep.
But I'm just saying like Patterson, like if you're trying to hold Patterson to like, to his your favorite.
No,
it's not gonna. Or if you're
not
gonna
my
try
favorite, just what I'm.
Because it's not his best movie, right?
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I also just didn't enjoy it, no matter who would have directed it. So that's why I don't know. It's a miss. I think that one thing that irritates me that earned a demerit for this movie is the Chekhov's gun that is unfulfilled.
Which one?
So
is it a spoiler?
No. Well, maybe. In Patterson, he makes a point of having a scene where a guy voices a warning to Patterson. And so the whole time you're like, oh, okay, that's definitely in the forefront of my mind. Like, I'm going to keep that in mind. This guy's been warned about something, and it's regarding a behavior he keeps repeating. So you're like, okay, well, obviously this is going to catch up with him, or something's going to happen. Nothing happens. Nothing happens about it at all. The same thing that happened before the warning continued to happen after the warning. And I was like, what the fuck did I even listen to that for? So it's just like, there's little parts of that are like, loose ends that never got tied,
And you know how I am with that. It's big. It's like the thing I think I preach the most when I work with writers is to tie up your loose ends. Don't leave people hanging.
If you're going to start something, do something with it. I don't even need it to be
like, I think everything's a Chekhov's gun.
I don't need it to be the outcome I'm expecting. I would prefer it if it's not the outcome I'm expecting, but I'd expect an outcome, some outcome.
I kind of view everything, like every action, every introduction, as a Chekhov's gun. Like if and what I mean by that is, like, I'm always looking for things that happen and then asking myself if that thing could have been set up earlier, or can be set up earlier, or if it can be reprised later. So like a good example of that in the book is, I may have said this on the slide before, but Jeremy Sisto, when they're driving to Vegas and Meadow criticizes Jeremy for being a working actor and not fixing his air conditioning.
Yeah.
And we're driving through Death Valley.
Yeah.
And then, so I had written that first. And it wasn't until I was probably on 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10 draft number 10 before I realized that I could just introduce that when he picks me up at the airport to set that up.
Because he's picking you up in the same car.
So he's picking up at the air in the same car. So he says, roll down the window, my air conditioning's on the fritz. And now I've got that set up, and it just makes that scene later better. It just makes that scene later better. So so when I look for those in filmmaking, the difference between that is you don't know that it wasn't resolved and that it got sacrificed for time.
It's typically so easy to address those things, to just like have a loose end that you tie somehow. I don't know.
Thank you for the recommendation. Keep them coming. It was a good movie for me. It was not a good movie for Angela, but at least Angela can still appreciate the great filmmaking of Jim Jarmusch, who is really, truly one of our great independent filmmakers of all time.
Oh yeah, and every actor in the film was incredible. I think that's why it earned 2. My 2 stars were because it had absolutely beautiful lighting.
See, for me, Jim Jarmusch gets 2 stars walking out the door. Like if the guy, when he wakes up in the morning and he puts his fucking pants on one leg at a time, he gets 2 stars.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel about it. The acting was superb and the cinematography and lighting was superb. It was just a beautiful film to watch. I didn't enjoy the story whatsoever.
Fair enough. On to the next one. The next one is Up Close and Personal. That was, no, it wasn't. The next one is...
At Close Range.
At Close Range with Chris Walken. This is 1980 something or other.
These are not a double feature. You would not combine these movies.
Yeah. At Close Range, Sean Penn, Christopher Walken, a very young Mary Stuart Masterson, and others, including Kiefer Sutherland, where he looks like he's 5.
Yeah.
Just crazy. So anyway... basically a crime family drama, and it was another movie that I thought of that I'd seen earlier that was wildly influential to me, and I'll explain why in a moment, without giving away too much. But watching it again for the very first time in decades, I'll say this: directed by James Foley, I believe, and. Beautifully directed.
I was really looking forward to this one because James Foley directed Glengarry Glen Ross, and that's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, and he's got this really beautiful way of setting up scenes. And
did he? Did I get that right?
I don't know, actually.
Glengarry Glen, because I know that's Mamet.
Mamet didn't direct, I don't think.
Glengarry Glen Ross movie.
You have my brain going.
Are you looking it up too?
I will if I have to.
Okay. Damn. Okay. Director James Foley. Story by screenplay by David Mamet.
Yeah. So Glengarry Glen Ross.
Okay.
So and you can see the similarity in their directing style of those 2 movies alone.
The similarity also is like they're pacing. It's the Glengarry Glen Ross is really propelled by really great scenes, but the pacing between the scenes it's really kind of stuttery. Like it doesn't really.
On Glengarry Glen Ross.
Yeah, it doesn't really flow. I don't think this director really does that well.
Well, I think. Well, I guess you could say his style is to rather sort of treat that differently than perhaps you might prefer. But
yeah, you can
like I don't know that it's
diplomatic.
necessarily a flaw in his work, is what I'm trying to say.
I know, but
rather
I'm
a
just
choice
being
he's
critical.
making.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know nobody's gonna like fire him because of what I'm saying.
Yeah. Does he live? And so anyway, James Foley, a truly talented director. In this movie...
He does not live. He recently died.
I thought he did.
May 6th this year.
Yeah, I thought I heard this. So he'll be on the in memoriam.
It's not my fault, Dale. I didn't do it, okay?
So James Foley, a terrific director. In this movie, At Close Range, you will see some of the most fucking, like some just stunning shots. Like just absolutely beautiful compositions. His night work is incredible. His fucking color is superb. Like there's just everything about this movie in terms of the look is wonderful. The other thing that he does was so interesting is because we watched prior to this, we watched King of New York, made around the same time with Chris Walken. So they're both Chris Walkens. And we also had some early Sean Penns to compare some early Sean Penn to. And it's really interesting to see Chris Walken in the hands of James Foley versus this other director. Let me go look up who that is. But that director, the director of King of New York, that guy did not get a great performance out of who is it? Abel Ferrara. And I'm sure he's a fine director, but in this case, when you look at those 2 performances, you can really see the director in the performances. And this is like, I thought this was really exciting for me as I was watching this movie. I was like, wow, man, same era, totally different Chris Walken.
Yeah.
Like where all of the subtleties that I love of Chris Walken's acting without those over like how in Heat, how Al Pacino would just like lose you completely in Heat. Like he was the biggest disappointment of that movie, if there were any, for me in Heat, just because he would just suddenly like burst into these like outrageous shoutings and just all this crazy like outlandish behavior, as opposed to some of his more controlled stuff, like in The Godfather, for example.
Yeah, I know.
So in this movie, like it was like he couldn't decide between, like in that movie, Pacino couldn't decide between, The Godfather and fucking Scarface. In At Close Range, Chris Walken really delivers this really measured. He's scary. He's sinister. He's the head of this boss family or wannabe boss family or crime family. And
No, he's just like
he's a hoodlum, I guess.
the leader of this like theft ring.
So he's just scary to me. He's menacing in ways that gets under your skin. He's just totally, and I thought that was really well done. I also thought that the storyline is just devastating in every possible way. You know, kid separated from his father. His father gets out of jail, shows up, says, "Hey, son, it's me." His son's now all kind of grown up because the dad's been away for a minute. And he's all grown up. And the kid is like, "Oh my God, it's my dad." He's got that shine in his eyes. You know, the guy I love so much, my dad. And then it just kind of goes downhill from there. And so I could not recommend this movie enough for that reason alone. If you're a story lover, I think it's just, there's some elements of this movie that they handle so well. I'm not going to, without spoilers, the scene where Sean Penn comes back to see him near the end is just an absolute fucking on the edge of my seat kind of stuff. I know why I held on to this movie in my heart for so long. It was because I felt like they built up to that moment perfectly, and they just gave me, like, it was a feast of tension for me in that single moment and made the movie worth it. However, all these decades later, this movie didn't hold up entirely for me. It was another slow burn, but it was kind of a slow burn that was, in some ways, I felt a victim of some poor writing and some poor directing decisions and the way to unfold the story.
How many pineapples did you give it?
So I haven't yet given it.
Oh, I see.
I'm going to give it 3.
3?
I'm going to give it 3. But it's an enthusiastic 3. I really think it's worth seeing again. I think it's great. It's a great performance by Chris Walken, and it's the kind of Chris Walken performance everyone craves, but without it being a caricature of himself.
Yeah, right.
Which I thought was really fucking
Where he's like doing
refreshing.
he's doing the Chris Walken thing. Yeah.
Like, instead, he's got this character. There's a real character in here, and it's not just this cliche that he became. And so for that reason, I really highly recommend it. And Sean Penn is absolutely fabulous in it. If it's not his best work by any stretch of the imagination. You know, some of it was a little over the top. He was the only guy who kind of went a little over the top, and Sean Penn can do that. He's a free bird, you know. He can go there and kind of get over the top. But in the end, I think it's a hell of a piece of work, and I do recommend it, even if I'm only giving it 3 tiny pineapples. You?
I gave At Close Range 3.5 tiny pineapples.
That's great.
I've one entire.
I'm going to revise it. I'm giving it 3.5. You just talked me into half.
One entire tiny pineapple is because seeing Christopher Walken when he's not like doing the Christopher Walken thing, you know, like I can't do a fucking impression, but everybody else can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like playing a charismatic villain is so fun. He's really, really incredible. As being like super, super suave charisma guy, but also really, really scary. It's really great.
Yeah.
He is perfect. I also really, I gave a whole pineapple because seeing Sean Penn and Chris Penn together as brothers was super delightful.
Yes.
And they're young as babies.
Yes.
So it's just, that's really fun. But you can see that they grew up acting together and that chemistry is all over every single
And they play
scene.
brothers, of course. And
it's wonderful.
It's actually, it's a gem for that alone. I agree.
And then also I gave a whole an entire half of
a pineapple.
Yeah, of a pineapple, just for the delight of seeing Crispin Glover acting so abnormal.
He's just the most unhinged.
In every single scene he's in. Crispin Glover's in this movie, and maybe you see him on screen. Like,
I really love the whole cast.
Maybe you see Crispin Glover on screen like 7 times, and every time you see him, we should do like a super cut of it. Every time you see Crispin Glover, he is being so fucking weird, like unnecessarily weird. He makes all the wrong choices, like completely strange choices. I feel like Crispin Glover in this movie, it was his first day on Earth, and he didn't know how to human just right.
Yeah.
Everything is strange that he did, and that was really weird and delightful. Totally took me out, you know. The whole time I was like, oh, this is a really immersive scene, but what the fuck is Crispin Glover doing? But it was fun.
I like Cosmic Urgency. He said Patterson was a spell. It hypnotized him. And it does that. And I guess you're saying it like a metronome. But like for me...
Like a metronome, yeah.
You know, like a metronome might...
yeah, like a dripping faucet.
Like a 60 beats per minute metronome.
Cosmic Urgency also said, I just said I loved it. You guys decided to watch it on your own. The one I wanted you to watch is Manhunter.
Yeah, we're going to watch that next. because that one just is like, I can't believe I haven't, and the cast is sick, and so I got to see that movie anyway. But so that one's definitely on the list, probably this week. So thank you. I think we should talk a little bit, if you don't mind, about watching this Ed Gein thing. I think so. It's Monster season 3.
Yes.
We just finished the Menendez brothers one. We also did see the first one, which was Dahmer, and the first one was quite excellent, and the second one was very good. And here we are in this Charlie Hunnam.
Charlie Hunnam, I think.
Hunnam.
I don't know.
You know, the dude who was in
Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy.
I was so
a series I
skeptical.
really enjoyed.
I was like, I can't believe that they are doing a series on Ed Gein and they cast somebody that's hot. Like, that's like, I was like, that's a really bad choice.
Indeed.
You can't make him hot.
But it works. I'll say this.
You think it works? I think he's still like too hot to play him.
Really?
Yeah, even with
Angela's attracted to a serial killer.
Not supposed to be. It's their fault.
I think that I'm enjoying this season very much. We're not finished it. I'm enjoying this season very much. I think that Charlie Hunnam is doing a great job. We just watched the episode we just watched. The last episode we watched was fucking straight up awesome.
We're just on episode 3.
Is that what it is?
We just saw episode 3.
So episode 3 is awesome.
I also just think that anything that Laurie Metcalf does is incredible. She's one of my very favorite actors.
She's turning out something pretty solid so far. There's definitely a couple of for your consideration moments already
she's
in the first 3 episodes.
She's going to get noticed.
She's definitely killing it. Extremely happy for her and just delighted to be watching her. But
a lot of people really don't like this series, and I understand why, because they keep doing this time jump, and it's unclear for people that are watching the season 3 of Monster and they don't realize that they're telling the story of Ed Gein, but also the several films that he influenced. Like, it's kind of clumsy how they put it together in this series. So if you go in there and you don't know that Ed Gein influenced Psycho, and that you don't know that Ed Gein influenced
Texas
Chainsaw Massacre and Silence of the Lambs, then you're not going to understand what the hell's going on, you know?
Yeah, so it is great to actually go in with that knowledge. It's like this is not a spoiler when you say, hey, they're going to give you these intercuts, which I don't like.
No, me neither.
Like, I could do without it.
Right.
It's not ruining it for me, though. So it's definitely going to take a hit in terms of my overall feeling for it, because I just don't find it necessary. And, you know, quite frankly, which I'm told, by the way, saying that makes the next thing I'm saying a lie.
Yeah, or when you say... to be perfectly honest, you're like, so you're lying the rest of the time?
The whole time?
Only just now you're being
just
honest?
Now stepping out of your line into the realm of honesty. In the previous season, which was the Menendez brothers, there was also some questionable shit in that series that I was like, what are you doing? Or that I wasn't liking. So I don't know, for whatever reason, you know, they're trying to depart. I guess they're trying to show their own quirk or whatever. I don't know, whatever it is. Either way, whatever. I'm liking the season. I think it's worth seeing. This guy is so, as far as like, it's obviously the creepiest time. It's not too soon, you know. This guy's an old time killer. There's none of his victims are living today, or if they are, it's like the lore in their own family. You what? Your great grandmother got murdered by Ed Gein, you know, that kind of thing. But it's not like anybody's, you know, visiting the graves. So you can really party with this one. And it's as creepy as it gets. I mean, there's nothing more creepy than what actually this man did. The real version of this human being is far creepier than these fictionalized versions done by Hitchcock or by whoever it was that did the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
It's so gruesome. Like I've seen crime scene photos that they took when they discovered Ed Gein's like House of Horrors. And it's really the worst thing you can imagine. And I just, I'm wondering how far they go in the series, because they kind of like, they made it really bad in the first season where they were doing Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, his House of Horrors was so much worse than they portrayed. And what they showed was pretty bad. So yeah. I'm wondering how far they go with this one. I don't know what they're thinking, like making these series about like the absolute worst people.
Well, it's called
I mean,
Monsters.
we're watching it, so I guess.
It's called Monsters.
Yes.
So it's supposed to be a film about, people who are unhinged. It's obviously trying to tap into the whole
It's the
true crime
the most depraved
crowd.
I was really surprised to hear that.
But it's gruesome. The way they're depicting it is gruesome. Like, I'll tell you this about the Menendez brothers. They show the defacing of the father. And like, that to me is too soon. Mm-hmm. Like, I really found that to be like wildly offensive.
Yeah. I was really surprised to, I guess it's a spoiler. Maybe I shouldn't say anything. I learned more about Ed Gein since I started watching the show.
Anyway, yeah, exactly. There's
Spoilers.
Well, and there's just, it's interesting, dude. It's truly an interesting story and character study of a absolute.
Oh, it's not a spoiler. I'm just going to say it. I was like, I didn't know if they were going to show this or, obviously we don't think he got away because we know, we know that the guy that it's based on, Ed Gein, was caught. So it's not a spoiler. I didn't want to spoil the show saying that he was caught, but of course that's not. I was really surprised he never served any time in prison, that he was deemed insane, schizophrenic. And
yeah, they don't even touch on that in the show.
he was just in oh, well, we wouldn't know. I think it's chronological.
Oh, right. We're not done.
We'll see what happens. We'll see how they treat it.
That's it. That's all I got for you on that stuff. But that's, it was, I like the selections. I had a good time this weekend, even if they were both so slow. So there was like virtually no tension. I mean, there was tension, but anyway, it was a good time. Thanks for watching with me.
Yeah, thanks for watching with me.
It was a good time.
Maybe we should finally do Mindhunter this weekend since Cosmic
Mindhunter, yeah, it should be next. I think you're right. I'm down with that. Sign me up. We also got to get some scary ones. Does anybody have any scary ones that they think I should watch that I haven't watched? Angela hasn't seen any Saws.
I have so many scary movies that I want to watch that I haven't seen.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about it.
So many.
Do you have something off top of your head?
Yeah, like
Don't say Saw. I want to show you Saw. Cosmic didn't like Saw. I like Saw. I think Saw was really good.
I should check it out just because people talk about it.
Of course.
But also, like The Descent is one that I haven't seen that I heard was really good. As Above, So Below is another one that I heard was really good.
As Below, So Below.
Yeah, there's a few that I haven't seen.
I've got the Phillies game we're losing 4-0.
Oh.
I got that off to the side here, and HBO Max was like blasting all their horror films.
Yeah,
There's
man.
A lot of good ones.
We should just watch one every night.
Guilty's got a good recommendation. Let's hear it.
By Halloween we'll just be like vibrating in fear because we'll just be like,
Yeah.
just like overload our nervous system with the scary movies. Everything will be a jump scare.
I mean, scary movies very rarely actually scare me. Well, I don't even know if that's true.
I get pulled into, like, jump scares work on me every time. I hate them.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate them so much that I'm like looking up to see what movies have them. There's some people who like they enjoy horror movies, but they hate the jump scares because they're already too stressed. They can't handle it. So there's websites where you can look up where they're like spoiler-free websites that'll just tell you what kind of scare tactics they use,
I don't need that.
So you can avoid your jump scares.
I'm game with pretty much everything. I don't need to avoid anything. Yeah, but you can go find that out if you have triggers and stuff, which is great. It's like super handy. I mean, if I had triggers that like I couldn't, I could very easily get triggered. But some other news. Can I get into some other news?
Yeah, I was going to get into the chat, but go ahead.
Well, you can get into the chat while I introduce this.
Me first or you?
Yeah, you go first.
Leah's telling Bobo, I just watched the newest video by Julie. She says that Travis Kelce and his brother confirmed that Blake is their friend. Of course she is. Everybody's still in doubt. By the way, the Justin Baldoni supporters have been like losing it over this record. They're going deep into conspiracy theories to make Taylor Swift's song canceled, not about Blake Lively.
It is.
It is absolutely about.
It isn't about her, but like, you saw the other things, like she's wearing her Gucci earrings.
Yeah.
There's another one that somebody pointed out.
Bracelet, yeah.
A bracelet, that's right. Yeah.
So they're trying to debunk that.
And exactly,
like, guys,
it's her bracelet.
Just relax. They're friends. They were friends. They're still friends. She's telling you that. It's so funny. Who cares, Like, they only care because their beloved Justin Baldoni tricked them about this. Brand Friedman or whoever.
Yeah. Exactly that.
I'm Bobo said, yeah, Kirsty Flaw doesn't believe it.
Kirsty Flaw is such
she
a
doesn't know shit.
I can't watch her because I can't watch anybody that I know is just a complete like, you know. I mean, I think she's a piece of shit. I mean, I'm just going to use the words that come to my mind. I think Kirsty Flaw is an absolute piece of shit human being, and I just can't give her any of my time. I just can't. I don't have the guts. I don't have the time. I'm 55 years old, bro. It's a wrap. I don't have time to spend on creatures that have nothing but malice in their hearts. Like, she's just got malice in her hearts. Why does she hate fucking Blake Lively? Because Blake Lively gave her a bad interview? Like, if you're that kind of a human being, if you're so scorned over something that is ultimately a bad day, if it's anything at all,
then you got to work from home.
Yeah, then you should just work from home. You should not be out in public.
Be isolated.
Yeah.
Like the rest of us. Like I've
lived through some fucking trauma, bro.
I know.
She can go fuck off, right? This chick is just a fucking menace to society. She's somebody who wants to create divide. And this is the thing. People who want to create divide, I don't have any use for. I just don't have any use for it. You know? Or time. I guess it's time. I just don't have the time to spend on people who are lying. You know, if you want to come to this live and have a conversation with us, I hope one day we start, getting popular and get more people coming in here and so we can like liven the debate up a bit, because right now we have a lot of friends here who, we have minor disagreements on or with.
You're being visited.
Hello, ma'am. My dog that wiggles and waggles. So anyway, yeah, she's a pile of shit. She wants to create fiction. I love it. They're just like all these, and listen, it's interesting. I saw this video. I thought it was a very useful video. And it was a video about this guy who's running for Senate. And it was a video about like how communication is what people are buying now, not who's your donor, not how much money can you raise. It's how do you talk to me? Can I understand what you're saying? And do I agree with it? And is what you're saying logical? Does it make sense? And so this guy was up there and he was talking about the divide between the right and the left. And he was talking about how what we should be using is compassion and empathy with people who we believe are people who have been misled. He likened it to like, how would you feel if you saw somebody who got assaulted? Would you criticize them for it? Would you like, if you saw somebody getting assaulted? I think it was something similar to it, at least, that, if you saw somebody get hurt, would you then or sick, ill, if they got ill, would you make it their fault? Would you make it about them, or would you have empathy for them? And I just thought it was a very interesting, I thought it was a great take, because the truth is that I get angry, I get viscerally angry at all this misinformation, all this absolute complete garbage. I like listening to people try to paint Taylor Swift as some white supremacist. I mean, it's just madness that I can barely fathom that we're in around it. But, and I was talking to this with somebody earlier today. These people are living in this fucking tunnel, man. They're living in a tunnel and they're getting their information one way. And what we see is these big giant oligarchs who are participating in this madness and who are really Donald Trump is one. So we know what they're all about. Actually, he just wanted to be one so bad that he found his way into the White House where he was able to steal and loot and whatever. But my point is that they're buying all the social media companies, right? And they're buying all the media companies, Paramount and TikTok and all these things. And they're going to shovel that tunnel vision down to those audiences as much as they possibly can. They are going to alter in the same way that Elon Musk does so for Twitter, the algorithm as best as they can to manipulate people into their way of thinking, their way of approaching things. And they're going to narrow the scope of information that you're going to receive. So I do feel empathy and I do feel sadness for people. And I feel the same thing is happening in these Baldoni, when you get sucked into the Andy Signor and the Christy Flaw, whatever the fuck her name is, and that Sassy Dave Navarro guy. Like, if you get sucked into these channels of information and nothing else comes in, you can come out with a really deranged view of things, especially because they reframe everything as this. And if you don't, if you're just somebody who's taking it off the top of the buffet. You're not somebody who's actually going in and buying the ingredients and cooking it up and getting a good bite for it and seeing what it really is. Then you're somebody who is just going to take people's word for it because you connect with the way they're saying, or you're agreeable in some things already going in, whatever it might be. Maybe you were predisposed to their stuff before when their opinion didn't really matter that much. And so you were just in some kind of sort of light agreement with them, whatever it might be. It's almost a form of entrapment. And so I think that the idea or the approach of like treating people empathetically, thinking about a lot of people getting this information as in some ways victims, I think is really fucking smart, because I don't want to hate anybody. I don't. And the last thing I want, like, here's what I've noticed, or what I feel for certain about this country in general, is that where this thing is going to stay broken, it's going to get worse if we don't come together, if we don't find a way to get together, and get it right and get the real problem out. And so there has to be some bridge there. And I'm only bringing this stuff up because of what we see with Lively and Baldoni, because it really is the very same thing. There's no difference in terms of what they're doing, how they're using the propaganda, and for what purpose, which is to ultimately create the divide, to create the anger, to create the hatred, to create the yelling, the screaming, something I've participated in I don't know how many times at this point on this live. And, I think I'm going to try to refrain from it, especially when people come by here, because I do feel sad. I want to feel genuinely, and I want them to understand that I feel genuinely empathetic to the fact that they have such limited information, that they're willing to show up here and say something as ridiculous as, what about the basement, or no, Justin Baldoni didn't admit to any SH. What are you talking about? Or whatever absolute complete fallacy that they've been living with. Anyway, so that's kind of my view on that. Larry Ellison, he owns CBS, HBO, MTV, TikTok, and he's MAGA. And this is what they're doing. And he's not MAGA. He's oligarch, and he's using MAGA,
he's
but yes.
a kleptocrat. It's a kleptocracy, right? And they have to propagandize everybody to go along with it. So they're like just trying to, control all the information channels. Yeah. I remember a long time ago that somebody was talking about how we're all a bunch of babies whenever we talk about American political discourse and divide, because they're like, if you learn from any experienced community organizer or activist organizer, they're all going to say the same things. And that is that most of the people that you have to work with when you're organizing everybody in a community against shared goals is that some people are really fucking annoying. Some people are really awful, and some people you don't want to work with, but you have to because you share community and you share goals. So I think that this is something that I remember all the time. Like, there's a bunch of fucking Karens and fucking boomers and, fucking all these other types of people, that they have the same complaints that I do about what's wrong with society. Their idea of what the solution is wrong, right? Or doesn't match mine. And most of the time I believe that it's wrong. Like, thinking that immigrants are the problem instead of the people who own the corporations that are giving your jobs away, right? Like, that you're obviously, you're not aiming right, when you're targeting the people who are disenfranchised, more disenfranchised than you are not your enemy. It's not even about
that, because you're mad at the worker.
Exactly.
When it's the employer. I know. They're the ones in charge.
So, like,
it's the same thing of being. But
that's a really good example.
It's so fucking deranged because they're mad at Blake, the employee.
I know.
And not mad at the employer, the guy who ran the fucking show.
Well, I'm not talking about Blake Lively.
I know. I'm saying that it's a reflection of it, though.
But what I mean is, like, there's a lot of people who understand what the problem is. Their idea of what the solution is doesn't align, right? But if we could all just get together with this shared idea of what the problem is, then we have a middle ground to work from. I remember the very first time that when we moved here, I was politically active where we used to live in Los Angeles, where it doesn't really fucking count for much. But here I wanted to do the same thing. And so I was attending a bunch of these like town hall type meetings where like the representative or the representative candidate or something would come and talk to a bunch of people. And I remember there was one local one where there was this guy who was like the most stereotypical like country bumpkin you could possibly imagine. He was like in dirty overalls with like a ratty straw hat. And I think he was even chewing on some straw too. He had this like humongous, like stained beard. And he got up to talk, and I was like, okay, let's hear what this guy has to say. Like, this is obviously the guy who's on the opposite side of the spectrum. And he was talking about how he stood up and he claimed that he was in Donald Trump's basket of deplorables. I don't know if you guys remember, like, it's ancient history now, but Hillary Clinton said something that was like totally offensive, and they claimed it and owned it as a label. So he was like, that's me. I'm in the basket of deplorables. And he stood up and he was like, and I have one question for these candidates at this panel. And his question was, and this stuck with me because I was like, aha, we are the same, right? He said, that guy, who I don't agree with on anything, he wanted to know who was everybody's major corporate donor. He didn't want to vote for anybody that was being funded by corporations. And I was like, I don't either. None of us fucking do.
Yeah.
None of us want our representatives to be representing someone other than us. Like, this is all something that we all agree on. This isn't partisan. So if we can just get back to those things, like, these are all things that we agree on. Yeah. And I think we're getting back to that place. I think that the culture war that everybody has tried to stoke to divide us is running out. I think everybody's too stressed and too upset and too overburdened with the cost of living and everything.
They took it too far.
They took it too far.
You got Charlie.
So everybody's
Charlie
everybody's like waking up. They're like, you're fucking trying to trick me.
Yeah.
Like we've been saying the whole time.
When they tried to pin Charlie Kirk's assassination on trans,
yeah.
Even the right was just like, oh, get the fuck out of here. Because that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, well, I mean, I hope they're waking up to the fact they're being fucking tricked.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it did. It opened up some eyes.
But that was a huge lesson for me. I was like, I don't agree with these guys on anything. I think they're horrible people, and I would never want to even share a dining table with them for a minute. But we can come together and get political goals, to get political goals like done. We can make progress on these things. I don't want my candidates to be corporate funded either. Neither did he. And he's like, anyway, that was enlightening for me. So hopefully that's useful for others.
We'll see what happens. I'm excited. Maggot had said, by the way, Jim Jarmusch is one of my favorite directors of all time. He's got a very interesting way of filmmaking. Yeah, it's just I think that's what I was trying to point out, is that he's got this like beautiful voice that is very distinct, that shows up in every movie, and it's endearing. It's almost like comfort food. It's like we started watching a Jim Jarmusch movie, and 15 minutes in, I was back in 1990 whatever, and going to see whatever he was releasing at the time. Going to see Eugene Bird. He was my friend who was in that movie, Dead Man, with Johnny Depp and Robert Mitchum. He was the black dude. And just like feeling that incredible, like deep, rich appreciation for something truly independent. It was just, it's like Hal Hartley. If you ever watch Hal Hartley, when you see his movies, whether you like them or not, because they're very stylistic, it's just, they just burn indie, and they feel great on me that way. Even if I don't love the movie at any given moment. So I love him, and I'm glad that he's one of your favorites. He's such a great choice to have as a favorite. Puff Daddy has already asked for a pardon.
Asked for one?
Yeah, just before we got on, it hit TMZ.
How did he ask? What did he do?
I guess what do you mean? He's friends with Donald Trump.
No. I mean, what did he fucking tweet it? What did he do?
No, he fucking reached out to him. What are you talking about? You saw Macron in New York when Trump Macron.
Why'd you say it like that?
Macron. What's his fucking name?
You're saying it like it's his rapper name.
What's it? Okay.
Macron.
What's his goddamn Macron? What's his name? Is it Macron?
Yeah, I guess it's French. I don't fucking speak French.
Exactly. He was in New York, and he got stopped because Trump was going through New York, so he had to walk to the UN.
Yeah.
And he called Trump. There's a video of him, and he's like, "Yeah, it's me. It's Macron for Donald Trump. Please put him on." And he called him while he was on the corner of, so people can call him.
So did he just use his house phone?
Yeah, it's fucking good. Well, here's what it says. Here's what it says here. TMZ reporting. Sean Diddy Combs is already going straight to the top for a get-out-of-free jail card because Donald Trump says that Diddy has asked him for a presidential pardon. Trump was talking to reporters Monday at the White House when he revealed he'd gotten a special request from Diddy. POTUS said, "I call him Puff Daddy. He has asked me for a pardon."
What did he say? What else?
I don't know. He didn't say, he's not going to just like say, yeah.
He didn't go on like some long fucking diatribe about it? Like always?
Sources say...
They were like tucking him into bed and they were like, sir, we have to take your phone away.
He had like a little fart, and then he was like, you know what?
It's
Diddy
bedtime.
called me. He wants a pardon. I can pardon him if I want to. I have the power.
Yeah.
So isn't that nice to hear, though, that, another criminal is reaching out for help from the president because they know that store is always open.
The way that Trump writes, it always reminds me of like, I don't know if you remember this when you were like in elementary school, you're like 6 or 7 years old and you're just learning to read, and your parents, the teachers will give you like an assignment where you get to make your own little book.
Yeah.
Did you ever go through that? I still have the little books that I made, the teeny tiny like kids books where each page has like a short sentence.
Oh.
And
like, I am a girl.
Exactly.
I like the color red.
This is how Trump always tweets to me. It always seems like he's just like made his own little book.
Thank you for you.
He's a little boy. And he's been given the opportunity to write his own book. He's taking it very seriously.
Totally agree.
Fucking sucks. I can't believe we're here.
He sounds like a fucking baby. I meant to, bring this up on Friday, but we never got to it. But, have you heard about Mark Sanchez? Do you know who that is?
I don't know who Mark Sanchez is.
Mark Sanchez was an NFL quarterback, and then he also...
He's retired?
Yes, and now he is a color commentator for CBS for the NFL.
Okay.
And Mark Sanchez was stabbed on Friday. And
What?
He was stabbed, and I think it was Friday.
Is he okay?
He was taken to the hospital in critical condition.
Oh my God.
And then he has been released, but he was released and he was arrested.
Oh.
And he was arrested for felony battery.
Oh.
And they released pictures of his victim, a 69-year-old man who pulled up in a delivery truck.
His victim?
Yeah, his victim. He was delivering.
How do you victimize him? What happened? So Mark Sanchez got stabbed. But this other guy got what?
Well, so let me just go through this.
Okay.
So this delivery man showed up and he parked right in front of...
It's like a true crime series all of a sudden.
Yeah, he pulled up and he parked in front of an establishment, a restaurant, a bar restaurant, and he was delivering oil or something, some kind of restaurant industrial something.
Oh, like cooking oil. Yeah.
Oil, something like that.
Right.
And this is like his regular routine. This is his route. This is his customer, so on and so forth. So he pulled up, and I guess there was some kind of an altercation, and I'm a little shoddy on the details. I did read a couple of articles, but I can't say that I know what's really going on. There was an argument between Sanchez and this driver about him taking this parking spot at the front. And it got totally heated, and then Sanchez began attacking him. He pulled out a knife, did the man to protect himself, stabbing Sanchez multiple times.
Oh, my God.
Sanchez was and then Sanchez, the guy, I don't know. Sanchez ended up like slicing this man's face open. It looks like a gore gash from a horror movie. It is gnarly. It looks like he's about to be butchered, It's just unbelievable.
Well, that's really freaky too, because if you can imagine striking somebody and hitting that means that you're probably aiming for their neck
or something.
And that would be so bad.
So after the cops saw the footage that they were able to obtain of the incident, they ended up arresting him, and he's looking at 6 fucking years in prison.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude.
For attacking this dude?
Yes. And
wait, so who
he's
had the
going to
knife?
lose his job, obviously, at CBS. I mean, his life is completely ruined.
Wait, so who had the knife? So the guy was, so he was stabbed in critical condition, and then this other guy was also slashed?
My understanding is that the guy defended himself with a knife.
And so he took it?
And I think that what makes sense is that somehow either he took it or he was able
what
to
if it was like
grab some other thing,
what
like
if
a
it was
beer bottle
in the
whatever.
movies where like the guy stuck him in the knife and then he backed up and then he looked down and then he sees the hilt of the knife and then he slowly takes it out and the guy's like, oh, shocked, just like in the movies?
Yeah.
Totally slowly takes it out and then turns it on him.
Insane.
Why do they always have that scene in movies? It's the most unrealistic thing ever. Can you imagine?
Well,
can you imagine
no.
You're like, you stabbed me. And then you look down and you're like, this is my weapon now. What the fuck? insane. Whoever came up with that.
It's probably because of a true story from somebody, because somebody has done that in real life.
Never happened.
100% that happened.
Never happened.
For sure, dude. This guy got caught with a bear trap. He took the bear trap off and set the bear trap and then sat and watched somebody. So it's a crazy story. It's a fucking crazy story. He's looking at 1 to 6 years in prison. And so reading along, this guy says that this writer said that he heard from sources that Mark Sanchez is not talking very much about what happened because he cannot remember.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he's just saying that. He's just saying that.
Blackout drunk.
He's just saying that he can't remember. That's like a common defense where you're like,
well, the victim
I
is
was
saying
sleepwalking.
that he was wildly drunk. Like apparently he was wildly drunk.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine getting yourself into that much
I've been
mess?
blackout drunk in my history. Yeah.
Yes, but can you imagine?
God, I'm not violent.
Can you imagine ruining your entire life in those moments? And you're
well, I can see it happening. Like I can't imagine doing it, but I can see it happening. All it takes is one decision. I was trying to cast a movie. I had gotten a green light by a local investor. It's the same investor who then I ended up producing Small Group for, because I was like, hey, I'll do you a favor, whatever. Another story for another time. When we were greenlit on my project, Never Say Goodbye, I met with an actor who was on a Showtime series, and she was in town, and she'd heard that we were making this movie, and somehow the meeting happened. And so I met with her at a local restaurant. And man, she was fucking hammered, bro. I got to the meeting. This girl was fucking wasted. Like, oh my God. And she was with a friend who was also fucking 3 sheets to the wind. Is that the expression? And,
I don't know what that's from, though, that expression.
So just absolutely.
I wonder if it was, well, maybe they just overdrank, but I always get really nervous thinking that if somebody is planning to do a meeting and they end up that wasted, that maybe they were like, something was slipped.
I'm not making anybody nervous. I mean, oh my God, I'm going to meet Dale Wheatley. That I don't think.
No, that's what I'm saying is like maybe, I don't know. It just seems a little fishy sometimes. Like maybe it's not their fault.
Well, where I'm going with this is that, this girl was going to get in her car and drive away. And it's that moment. Those are the moments, and she was blackout. Like there's no way that she woke up and even remembered the meeting with me. She was that fucking drunk. It was such a disappointment because I wanted her so bad because she was on a hit show on HBO. Oh no, Showtime. She was on a hit show on Showtime. Believe it or not, they had them. And so I was just super excited because I was like, this could be a great opportunity if I could land this great actor. And she showed up fucking drunk. But my point is, I laid on her car, bro, on the hood of her car.
You didn't let her go?
No fucking way.
She probably didn't like that very much.
I didn't give a shit. She got so mad. She was belligerent. She was saying belligerent things to me. And I was like, you can say whatever you want, but you're not getting behind the fucking car or I'll call the cops. I'll call the cops. I was like, I'll tell you what, you get somebody here to pick you up because if I see you get in this car and turn the fucking key, the cops are going to be looking for you right away because I'm going to call them and tell them it's an emergency because you are incapable of operating any kind of a motor vehicle right now and you will only kill yourself or somebody else.
She definitely remembered that meeting.
I was like, fuck it. So
what'd you do? You just sat on her hood?
She was so blackout drunk. Her dad came and got her. Uh-huh. Yeah. So then she picked up her phone and she couldn't even talk, dude, at this point. So she had evidently, before I got there, done a bunch of shots. Because when I got there, I bought her a beer and, we ordered some appetizers. But she was like just fucking drunk as fuck. The meeting probably lasted 60 to, maybe 90 minutes possibly. And by then, whatever she had already been popping had hit her full front. And she was incapable of operating her own body.
What did her dad say when he arrived?
He just thanked me so much.
Really?
Yeah. He was extremely grateful. He was like, thank you so much. I was like, dude, she was about to drive, bro.
He's like, I know, she's a mess.
Somebody's got to take the keys away from this girl. Anyway.
He knows.
So, so I can see it. Like, because I watched this girl who would have undoubtedly, in my mind, caused some kind of accident, and it could have been major and life-changing. We hear these fucking stories all the time, right? Who was it? There was like that 90210 O-Star. Remember? She killed somebody. I can't remember what her name was.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, there was a 90210 star, or I think it was, or Melrose Place, one of those. It was either one of those, I'm pretty sure. And she killed somebody in a drinking and driving.
Horrible.
Yeah, dude. Fuck, man. I mean, not a good idea. That car, man. It's a deadly weapon if it's not being used for what it's designed to do. So anyway, Mark Sanchez, drunk out of his mind, tries to kill a dude because of a parking
So is
spot.
he still in critical condition?
No, he's been released now.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I think he was just blood loss probably, They probably just stabilized the blood situation, put a couple bags in him and, stitched him up and sent him to jail.
God.
Yeah. I don't know if he's been released yet. Mark remains under medical care for the serious injuries he's sustained and is focused on his recovery as the legal process continues. And we'd like to extend our heartfelt thanks to his staff. Let me see what it says here. Anyway, I almost brought this up and then I was like, it's a terrible story. My first thought was, by the way, this quarterback once played for the Philadelphia Eagles. And he, when I first heard the story, I was like, wow, this is just some tragic crime story that I don't need to cover, But now it just gets so crazy.
Cosmic Urgency and Hinata are correcting you that he's a Fox commentator.
Oh, is it Fox?
Yeah.
Did Fox have the Indianapolis game? Okay, that's fine. Whatever. It doesn't matter. He's a commentator. Thank you for straightening that out. Well, now I understand why he's a dick. The authorities say he was the aggressor in the altercation with the 69-year-old truck driver just hours earlier. The former first-round draft pick is facing 4 charges, including felony battery. And obviously he's going to get sued. The guy's a multimillionaire. He was a first overall draft pick. And he was a bum pick, by the way. Didn't work out. The Eagles didn't draft him. We picked him up as a backup. What a story. What a it's just crazy how much this man's life changed in one fucking drunken incident of stupidity. That's why I don't drink anymore, man. It's a wrap for me, bro.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually super surprised that it's still legal
To drink?
Well, yeah, there's so much destruction that happens as a result of people's inability to moderate their intake.
I feel the same way about it. It should be legal. I feel like it's got to be legal and it's got to be regulated, and they're doing the best they can, because I don't think you can stop it from. I'd rather people going and getting booze that isn't going to kill them.
Yeah.
And that's what we would have if we were going back to the Prohibition era.
Oh, right.
I want to end Prohibition for marijuana and all drugs, really. I want psilocybin in my life right now.
Yeah, no, we should.
I want to microdose it.
Put it in the fucking water supply.
Yeah, we should put it in the water supply. You're right. I mean, the studies are in, dude. It's a wrap.
Oh,
that shit
speaking
is
of which,
so good for you.
Can I share this with you? I found this the other day, and I was so excited I didn't even tell you about it because I wanted to tell you about it here.
Tell me about it here.
Let's see. Oh, okay. Scientists have uncovered a groundbreaking new use for DMT. You know what DMT is?
Mesk?
I think it's mescaline. I don't know. DMT is a natural compound found in the human brain. Better known for its psychedelic effects. Researchers from Hungary's, I can't pronounce this, Biological Research Center, and Semmelweis University, they've discovered that DMT can protect the brain after a stroke because it repairs the blood-brain barrier and it reduces inflammation.
Wow.
Isn't that neat? This dual action
And you get to fucking party.
I don't know. Have you ever tried it? I haven't.
I have.
You have?
Yes.
I wonder what form they're giving these test subjects. Okay, this dual action could dramatically improve recovery outcomes and mark a major shift in stroke treatment. In laboratory and animal studies, DMT was shown to reduce brain swelling and tissue damage by activating sigma-1 receptors, which regulate the body's stress response at the cellular level. By calming inflammation and stabilizing the blood-brain barrier, DMT doesn't just limit damage, it helps restore vital brain function. The research, published in Science Advances, offers hope for new therapies that address multiple aspects of stroke recovery, not just one. Current treatments for stroke remain limited, often leaving patients with lasting impairments, but this discovery could change that. Human clinical trials are already underway to test DMT's safety and effectiveness as a companion therapy. If successful, this natural compound could usher in a new era of neuroprotection and recovery, giving patients a better chance at full healing. And the study is called N-diethyltryptamine, mitigates experimental stroke by stabilizing the blood-brain barrier and reducing neuroinflammation by science advances. Isn't that neat?
I love it. I just absolutely love it. And yeah, I mean, I actually truly believe that a lot of, I'll say, I've been through a lot in my life, and especially my early life, and very abusive, poor, like economically poor upbringing, all this stuff. And so then I found, I got into LSD as a young kid. And I really attribute that to my total stabilization of dealing with profound abuse and being able to internalize it and understand it. And I mean, it changed everything for me. If it wasn't, I think for that, I have no idea what the damage would have really truly been. But, and this, when I'm fucking 14, 15 is when I'm doing this stuff. So it's too early. But my mind, like the expansion of my thought process, the depth and understanding of who I am versus who they are.
Yeah.
Which was the wildest thing, was being able to sort of almost at a molecular level understand me versus them versus me, as opposed to feeling as though I was like in any way a part of them, or that they were any way a part of me.
That's interesting.
So there was this, like, it gave me this autonomy that was a deeply spiritual autonomy. And then in some ways, then some agency over them, because it at least gave me an understanding of my spiritual, separateness.
Yeah.
And how I think the greatest thing of it was that I knew intellectually then that nothing that had happened to me was my fault. Like I was able to go through it. I was like, oh my God, I'm cool. This is cool. I'm good.
That's huge.
And it was a big breakthrough, because I think a lot of what you go through when you go through trauma so early, for me, I think there's a lot of feeling as though you're a part of it. Like you're a part of your own problem.
I think that we're like at the beginning, like the starting line of major upcoming advances in using psychedelic therapy to treat human brain disorders of all kinds.
Yeah.
I think that I know that there's a lot of veterans groups that have been advocating for psychedelic therapy as a cure for post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah.
And people really feel healed. I'm not sure what exactly they're using, but just there's like a family of drugs that used to be illegal and are now being used therapeutically that people are saying is incredible. And I just think it's amazing that we're now witnessing the mainstreaming and scientific like validation of what a lot of people who have just been users on the sidelines, like black market stuff.
Yeah, and Tim Leary, go back to, Tim Leary and all those guys.
Yeah, like Terrence McKenna has been
Ken
writing
Casey
about.
And the electric Kool-Aid acid test.
Terrence McKenna wrote about like the healing properties of psychedelics for a really, really long time. I mean, he was like, you just have to go and ask the shamans, like they'll tell you.
For sure, exactly.
So I just think it's really incredible that we're going to witness this, the mainstreaming of all of this like shamanistic type medicine that's going to be used for everybody. I mean, I just think that it's wonderful. People are really feeling relief, and they're doing it naturally.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Great. It's wonderful, and I hope that that the breakthroughs come and give everyone an opportunity to overcome their depression and whatever else it might be able to affect and repair. Mm-hmm. And again, the studies are ongoing, and it just sucks because everything's so goddamn slow, and it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be.
Mushroom science too is so super fascinating. Like there's a scientist, his name's Paul Stamets. Paul Stamens, I think. I can't remember. But he has a laboratory, and he does all these he's funded to do all of this like cancer research. So he has determined that there's mushroom compounds that can actually treat cancer, and in some cases, as a therapy that you do with chemotherapy, it can increase your chances of a cure. Although I don't know if cancer is ever cured. They don't talk about it. It's in remission, right? That's what they say.
They announced cancer-free after whatever period. For my mother, it was after 4 years.
Okay. And he's also been talking about how like there's like bee colonies will suffer neurological damage because of pesticides and herbicides that they encounter out in the environment that people put around. And so he'll give them mushroom compounds, and it repairs their neurology. So like they'll have like some sort of neurological problem, and then they just ingest this mushroom compound, and it makes them all better. It's just like, why aren't we using these tools that are available to
because
us?
Because of prescription lobby, because they create this this bureaucracy that protects big pharmacy. You know, they really do.
Did I tell you this story about this guy who was he showed everybody on TikTok his little gadget. He had Parkinson's disease, and he had a really, really severe tremor. And all he had to do was wear this little box that made like a certain frequency, and he touched it to his chest, and his tremors stopped completely.
What?
It's just like it's a little vibrating sort of like a frequency that shoots like these wavelengths into his body, and it ceased his tremors. And he just has to wear this little like battery powered box all the time, and he's fine. Isn't that nuts? So it's just like I'm excited about all these new therapies that are going to happen.
I love it. It's super exciting, and like we haven't done this yet. I want to do I definitely want to go into more depth, but you heard about the growing teeth thing, right?
Yes. So is this happening in Japan?
Right now, they've done it. They've successfully grown teeth.
Is it China or Japan?
It's Japan.
Japan has
it was these Japanese dentists
successfully grown teeth.
Well, what they found out is that mammals have a third set.
No way.
Yep. And it's they're very like tiny like seeds up here. We all have them. We have a fucking third set of teeth. And so they figured out how to make that third set grow. So by 2020, I think it's at 2028 or 2020 or 2030. It's either 2030 or 2028, something like that. They expect to be finished their clinical trial of growing teeth, but they have already done it. They've successfully grown the teeth in other mammals. And now they're in human trials. Right, I'm gonna give me a whole new set.
It sounds like body horror to me.
Hey, whatever, just give me a man. What do you
Even when I was a kid, I was like, "This is really fucking weird."
You don't need. Look at yours, are fucking perfect.
My teeth.
Yeah, yours. You can fucking bite through metal. Mine are not. I was raised in the ghetto, as they say. So I guess you shouldn't say that, right?
I don't think so.
It's like is that a bad thing? My apologies if that was offensive. But I just want a whole new set. Just give it to me all, like whatever.
But
even the good ones I want, replace them.
Don't you think it would be super horrific to go through that?
What, growing teeth? I did it once. I could do it again.
I know, but you were a little kid, and weird things were like
Dude,
normal.
fuck, I'll have big fucking happy smiles like that. Oh, big goofy smiles with my big one tooth.
You're like got wiggly teeth that you have to deal with. Oh my God, it would be a nightmare. I wouldn't be able to sleep. You know that nightmare that people have where their teeth are falling out?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would just be like that, but in real life.
That nightmare is probably because their third set is trying to grow. They're like,
it's like
get rid of these. I want to come now.
It's whispering to them in the dark. The third set of teeth is like, let me out.
Mammals have a third set of teeth that we did not know about.
Okay, so what are they for? What happened?
To chew with, my dear.
No, I mean.
And to smile.
So if a tooth falls out, they don't come out, the third set.
There's some kind of something genetically that stops that third set of teeth from ever becoming. And I don't know what it's for. It's probably some kind of this is why intelligent design is so silly, because there's a useless set of third teeth that mankind have to go and find and go, hey, this can work if we fucking push the start button. You know what I mean? So
that's crazy.
It's like, when people talk about intelligent design, they ever show, I think it's the giraffe's tongue or something. Because so they're like intelligent design, eh? Because the tongue, there's or some kind of muscle. I can't remember if it's the tongue or it's some kind of muscle relative to the throat that ended up evolving to where it grows all the way down and around the whole long neck, as opposed to it just being
I think it's a major nerve. I think is what
it is. It's like a nerve or something.
Something
Yeah,
like that.
But whatever it is, I can't remember what it was. It's not the tongue. It's like Gene Simmons' tongue. A third set of teeth, guilty angel. What are you gonna do with yours?
Bite people.
I'm gonna get a whole new set. You guys gonna be like, did Dale get dentures? Nope. I spent all of my family's fortune.
Nope, just fresh teeth. Fresh Japanese
Fresh
teeth.
set of teeth, man. Hand me some peanuts. It's kind of exciting for those of us who have struggled with, I told you I come from a poor family. I never saw a dentist with my mom and dad. My mom and dad never took me to a dentist ever in my life. Nope. Did not go.
They just didn't know it was a thing.
They themselves had their own teeth removed in their 30s. I tell this funny story about how we drove across the country, and when we were in Arkansas, in this absolutely decrepit motel. I just couldn't believe I was even in there.
I know, it was
wouldn't
horrible.
sleep under the sheets. It was so gross. We just slept on top of the bed on our own.
The blankets, there were just blankets like tucked in. It wasn't like a fitted sheet. And so when it came up, you could see the mattress had stains like all on it. I was like, oh my God, this place is a horror show. But we were fascinated by the television, like the local TV in this place, this like fucking like roadside motel in Arkansas.
Yeah.
So it was televangelists, and then they do,
and then there was just like an infomercial.
And then
the infomercial was this dentist, and it was this woman saying, all right, you got this thing. What do you want to tell us about? And it was basically this dentist imploring young people in the state of Arkansas to not get their teeth pulled out, perfectly good teeth, and get dentures. And this is, and it's so funny because it was like, it's the most ridiculous thing you ever heard. So the infomercial was literally a dentist saying, you don't need to do that. You don't want to do that. The teeth you have are perfectly good, and the ones that ain't so good, let's have a look at them, and we could probably fix them to be perfectly good teeth. Don't pull your teeth out and get dentures just because your parents did. And that's what he said. Just because your parents did. My parents were that was my parents, man. They pulled out their teeth when they were fucking in their 30s, man. My mom and dad have had dentures. Now my dad has implants. But they had these bad teeth or whatever. They didn't even have that bad of teeth. They were just like, fuck it, man. I don't want to brush my teeth. The fucking lazy ass motherfuckers don't want to brush their teeth or pay for a dentist or whatever. Amazing. So they went and they got these damn dentures. So the dental neglect in my family was 100%. We never brushed my teeth until I moved out of my house. That's how long, didn't brush my teeth. Never.
Nobody taught you.
No, I never got taught. School, they tried to teach me, but I didn't have to do it at home. So in school, they'd be like, dental health. And they'd have the dentist come in with the models and be like, this is how you do it and all this other stuff. Right. And I'd be like, whatever. My parents don't give a shit. My parents smoke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's crazy. So for those of us who were raised by wolves and who didn't have the opportunity to have our lives protected when we were young.
I'm so glad that you didn't get veneers.
No, well, what happened was...
And also the first generation of veneers that just looked like absolute nightmare shit.
Yeah.
Nightmare grins.
So I have dental problems, but what's cool is that it was, I moved out young, real young. And
how old were you?
I was 16 when I moved out of my house. So I moved out when I was 16 years old. And then I was managing a telemarketing room, my dubious past, and I bit an apple. And the center of my tooth came out. I had this big gap all of a sudden, and the center of my tooth came out, which is from a cavity. And my office was right next to a dentist. So I bit the apple, and I was like, shit, and walked right into the dentist's office, and I was like, what the fuck happened to me? And they put me in a chair in 2 hours. And he fucking rebuilt that tooth in 2 hours, fixed it, and told me about all the problems I had, and then I began, fixing what's there. There's a lot of problems. I was at, this is by the time this happened, I was 18. So 18 years of absolutely never brushing my teeth.
Amazing.
I never brushed my teeth for 18 years. I just didn't think it was anything because my parents didn't think it was anything. And it wasn't until that one cavity literally fell out of an apple.
Dude, first time you got a cleaning, you must have been amazed. Because when you come back.
I felt my teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally. I was like, oh my God. I was like, my tongue, I was like, I couldn't talk.
You couldn't even talk.
I was like, what the fuck is this big smooth action in my mouth? Yeah. But I'll tell you, here I am 55 years old and I've never had any kind of a denture or anything like that. Mm-hmm. It may be something in my future. I have no idea unless I can get to my third set of teeth. But yeah, for those of us who were raised by wolves, man, this is a major breakthrough that if it becomes accessible. Because it was just a rich person's thing. They're the only people this is good for are the poor people. So they got to make this work for the cheapies. Because the people who don't have teeth are the people who don't have dentists.
Oh,
Do you know
no,
what I
there's
mean?
a bunch of rich people who have.
I know, but that's the smallest
that's
part of the
how you
market.
see all the
That's the
fucking veneers.
smallest part of the market, for sure.
You don't think those people with all the veneers might like to grow new teeth and have braces instead?
Oh no, I think you're right. Everybody who, especially those like the bad veneer guys.
Yeah.
Like this fucking, I've been living with this fucking grill that's as big as a fucking
Horse
Mack
teeth.
truck.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Anyway,
I'm not one to talk about horse teeth.
they're,
My teeth are
they're
fucking
growing teeth,
giant.
people. I'm gonna get me a set. Guilty Angel said, "Don't neglect your oral hygiene." Well, I wouldn't have if somebody told me not to. I was a kid, and so I was not in a position to make this decision, but I did.
Cosmic Urgency wants to know, how did you survive middle school and high school without brushing your teeth? Like is this question about like, did you get bullied?
Well, what's interesting about me? No, well, not really. I actually ended up becoming one of the cool kids, but what's interesting is that I was not really into sweets or anything as a kid. It's like my friends would be eating ice cream and shit, and I just didn't like it. It made me feel shitty. I'd be like, yeah, it tastes good, but fuck, my guts are bloated. I feel like crap. So I was never really a big sweets kid. I don't know how I survived any of that. Well, look, the truth is I got kicked out when I was 16 years old of my house, and I moved out. I was on my own. I was a little bit homeless for a minute, and then I got an apartment. 16 years old trying to rent an apartment, man. You don't even understand.
That's right.
I found out later that the landlord that I rented from jacked our rent by $200 a month as soon as we walked in the door to apply.
Yeah, of course.
And it was in the worst neighborhood in Winnipeg. And he jacked. I had no idea.
He was like, "Hey, these kids are desperate."
I was squeaking. I'd barely gotten a voice yet. And so yeah, I mean, it's when you're raised by wolves, bro, you got to like start over pretty much in everything. I had to like rebuild my whole brain after a while. And it's just not that my parents were necessarily bad people. It's just that they themselves were raised by wolves. So it's just unfortunately begets the other. Something I need to correct is that I talked a lot about Daniel Day-Lewis, the great Daniel Day-Lewis, being in this movie directed by his son, and that I had read criticisms of it, particularly around the screenplay, calling it a weak script. Turns out he co-wrote it, Daniel Day.
Oh, okay, but that doesn't mean it's not a weak script.
Well, the script maybe.
So your correction is not about you. You heard that
I was praising Dan Day for being like, I call him Dan Day.
His friends call him that, so I call him that. Call him Dan.
Actually, it's actually kind of true. This guy called Arturo Castillo, and he actually he knew them. He knew Dan Day. He knew Tim Roth. He knew all these guys, and he called him Dan Day. So from that day on, I was like, "Yo, you say hi to Dan Day for me or what?" He was the guy I always like. I make a little bit of fun because he's like he's you and me with an accent until he says his name. So he's just like, "Hey man, what's going on? Yeah, well my name is Arturo Castillo." And he like he doesn't just like get the accent. He turns into Antonio Banderas.
So that's your correction, is that
Dan Day co-wrote the script.
Co-wrote it.
So so it wouldn't be a fair criticism, or no, it wouldn't be a fair appraisal of him to say that he just got behind his son. He worked with him. And it's still great. It's fucking great. It's so beautiful. I love it. It's nepotism at its best, frankly. It's the kind of things we saw with Michael Douglas and Kurt Douglas, Cuckoo's Nest, and these other kinds of things. So pretty cool. Anyway, just wanted to set the record straight on that. Also in the box office is Dwayne Johnson's first major flop. I don't know what they thought they were going to do. Just show us a picture of him looking weird as a wrestler.
Yeah, they didn't market it
expect us
at
all
all
to watch it.
Yeah, I would like to see it just because I like wrestler movies. But I have no idea what it's about. They didn't market it at all. What?
It's the ninth inning, and they're rallying back, and they're one run away from tying it. Dwayne did it. They did a horrible job marketing this fucking movie.
Yes.
And I don't even know what it's called. Smashing Machine. His worst opening ever. It bombed. I mean, like it did $6 million. It's an awards season release. Obviously, they're going to hope for some kind of awards season bump like so many do in this time of year.
Yeah, well, I'll check it out. I mean, I love The Wrestler, and I really want to see...
yeah, but that's fucking Darren Aronofsky, wasn't it?
I know. I also want to see The Iron Claw. I keep hearing that...
who directed this? Do we even know who directed this thing?
I keep hearing that The Iron Claw was like overlooked and, underrated. Like that it's better than people are saying it was.
Fucking did under $6 million domestically. A24 drama.
Hey, Dale. You should know that Traverse is with us in the chat.
Hi, Traverse.
I really like Dawn's Plum, and now your channel is live. That's what they said.
Oh, yeah.
I really like Dawn's Plum.
I'm so glad you love Dawn's Plum or like Dawn's Plum. Thank you for coming here and letting us know or letting me know. I can't even tell you truly what it means to me. It means more to me than I can ever truly express. It fucking fills me with a kind of joy that can only be, experienced by compliments like yours. And living as long as I have with what I've had to live with makes it just all the more sweeter. But honestly, like I don't think there's a filmmaker alive who wouldn't want to hear this 30 years after the fact. And so it's just fucking truly a wonderful gift you've given me. So thank you so much for coming by and sharing that with us and with me. And I'm so grateful. I hope you'll try the book out because this book was written for people who like the movie. I mean, it's a book to try to reclaim my dreams and dignity and all this other shit. But it's also a book that, I just released. I mean, I released it a year ago, but I really haven't done much because Leo's got his foot on my neck. So it's like, hey, buy my book. It's a good book. You'd probably really enjoy it. And you can read it for free on Kindle Unlimited right now. Or you can pick up a Kindle version of it for $10. You can also go to freedomsplum.com and buy a book for $25 and I'll sign it. Because people do that. I only offer that because people do. It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I'm happy to do that because I fucking whatever it takes, But Saddle Brother directed it. Thank you. That's who I'm trying to find out who directed it.
Safdie Brothers.
Safdie Brother?
I guess a Safdie brother directed it. So we saw Uncut Gems, which was the Safdie brothers.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm bad with names, guys.
Traverse wanted to know.
Yes.
Is it true that you wrote Dawn's Plum out of order? Was it hard to write a movie that way?
I don't think we wrote it out of order.
Well,
what we did was, let me speak to it.
The beginning was written after the middle.
Not entirely. So it wasn't really that it was out of order. What made this movie so unique in terms of writing it was that we wrote it on index cards. That we wrote it as an improvisational piece is what made it really unique. And as far as it like being nonlinear or out of order, I mean, there wasn't really, I guess it was kind of out of order. It was kind of like things were happening. This is the cool thing about it in the book. Like, for example, but a good example of how Dawn's Plum was really kind of a fun experiment and strange journey is like, Leo called us up and he said he didn't want Amber Benson to be in the movie because he said that he felt like she was kind of not strong enough and that she would bring down the vibe basically, or the quality of the work. And RD and I disagreed. And I was adamant that we didn't let her go, and as was RD. And so what we offered was a compromise, and the compromise was that we would get her out of the film on camera because we were doing things so experimentally. So this is what I'll say about that because it's such a great question. Instead of it that we were writing the movie necessarily out of order or in any particular order, rather we were writing the movie dynamically. As we were living, we were writing. As we were shooting, we were writing. As we were editing, we were writing. Like this movie was always writing in like substantially, not in the way that you're like tweaking dialogue, but in the way that we're actually adding scenes, endings, where we're adding like a new ending or a new beginning or all major alterations to those assets. So it was a dynamic exercise.
A new beginning. Like when I said that you wrote the beginning after you wrote the middle of the book.
Yeah.
I mean, of the movie.
Yeah.
I was referring to Jenny Lewis and Scott Bloom's scene.
Yes.
Which you wrote and filmed after the middle where they're all at the diner.
But it was a rewrite. So I'd written previously in the screenplay, I had written a scene that had no dialogue, that had just this basic premise. And then we didn't have the time. So the only thing that John Schindler, who was our line producer at the time, offered up was the ability to go ahead and shoot those scenes MOS. That's without sound.
Yeah.
And so there was no improv. And so I had no actual material to work with. And so after we cut together the first 72 minutes of the movie, I wrote the opening more specifically to what we'd already shot.
Right.
But it was a rewrite of what we'd already written ostensibly. Like we had not, for example, like there was a new approach to the opening, not a new opening.
Gotcha.
That was the Philadelphia Phillies out at third base.
We're in overtime.
Oh, we are?
So, Traverse, you should come tomorrow when, I don't know if you can arrive earlier.
Yeah, well, before we go...
but it'd be really nice to continue to answer any questions that you have.
Traverse, it was a unique thing. It's the part of the tragedy of Don's Plum was that it was the beginning of a great experiment, and it wasn't a great experiment made by great minds. It was a great experiment made by a collaboration. It was an experiment that had an idea and an inspiration behind it, an inspiration from the great Mike Lee. If you don't know his work, please check it out. Watch every film he's ever made. He's a fucking genius. We already lost one major component of that team in his director of photography, Ted Pope. He's an old man. Now's the time to see him. He's a great inspiration, and he was our inspiration. And a part of what he inspired me to be and do and want as an artist was the ability to be able to take everything that was around us at all times and create with it. And that's what we did with Don's Plum. So it was a wonderful experiment, and that's the tragedy of Don's Plum, because that experiment deserved to be nurtured into whatever it was going to grow into, because I was going to stay with that until the day I died. And I still will. I made another movie called Small Group, but that's a producing credit. I did develop the script from scratch and did all that stuff, but it's not a movie that I wrote. It's not a movie that is my movie making style so much as just my producing skills. Whereas, Don's Plum, that's my heart and soul. This next movie that I'm going to make is my heart and soul. And about that, just to not mislead you in any way, I'm not greenlit. I don't have a budget. I just have a dream. The dream won't die. And it's a part of why I've made this channel and wrote this book. So anyway, yeah, it's time to go. I fucking love you guys so much. I hope today was a fun episode. It was a little bit of a weird episode, and I know news is light. So I do appreciate you guys coming around and hanging out with us, even if, things might feel a little thin. But I thought there was a lot of interesting things to talk about today.
We have more to talk about we didn't even cover.
Tragically, I did not record this episode because of all the mix-up. So I did fuck up a little bit.
No, it's okay.
So we'll just have to figure out, that part. But I guess that's off-camera stuff.
YouTube recorded it.
You guys are wonderful. So glad that you guys came. Trevor's, come back. Do follow, do like, do come back. We talk a lot about the film. We talk a lot about this book. So, and then we also share with you guys a lot of our insights, my insight into a lot of the shit that I grew up loving and things that influenced me and all that stuff. So anyway, you guys are the best. See you guys tomorrow.